Roger Stone here for Colonial Metals Group. Colonial Metals Group helps Americans protect their future with the most trusted store of wealth in human history. That's actual physical gold and silver. If you're retiring or you're retired, go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/stone right now for your free Roger Stone Colonial Metals Group Retirement Protection Kit. Or call 800-747-6589. That's 800-747-6589. Call now to receive your free home safe and up to $7,500 in free silver.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
Entertaining and informative.
Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
I'm watching the father of the Georgia school shooting suspect in court right now, and he's a mess. So usually you see these people like the Crumblies. It seems like they care, to be honest, but this guy looks like he's hurting. Anyway, Jeff Lax is a great voice for the Jewish community. He's been on this show many, many times, a friend of mine for many years, guy that tried to get me more than once to speak at the commencement address for Kingsborough, but a variety of issues there. My past didn't help, and, of course, I'm Jewish. That doesn't help. So here he is, my friend Jeff Lax. Jeff, good morning. How are you?
Always great to be with you, Seth. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Now, are you still a professor at Kingsborough Community College or not?
You know what? I thought you were breaking news for me before the break. You said former professor at Kingsborough. I'm still employed that I know of.
Okay, because somebody told me yesterday that you're no longer teaching there, but you are. Okay.
No, I do. Absolutely.
So when you do all these things that you do, okay, which is go on television, go on this show, speak on behalf of the Jews, and you work in the CUNY system, and they hate the Jews there as much as anybody, how does that go for you on a daily basis? Are there not other faculty members? I know it's Manhattan Beach, a lot of Jews there, but are there not other faculty members and students who give you the stink eye every day?
Well, half the campus hates me. And, you know, the first credit goes to people like the very few people like you and Brian Kilmeade, who's had me on a bunch of times. You guys are really the courageous ones because you guys are the ones going against the grain, especially in New York City, Sid. I mean, to do what you're doing and succeed is nothing short of miraculous. Oh. It's unbelievable what you do with the message that you are putting forth in 2024. So, you know what? I love you for that. And yes, you're right. Half the campus hates my guts. There's a small minority of the campus that if they saw me in an alley, they would shiv me. Not a doubt in my mind. But I got to say the right thing, like you. You were taught the right way, and that's how I was taught.
And you're great. I love you. I know a couple of days ago you, Margot Katzmatidi, stopping by to say hello. Good morning, Margot. I love you. I know a couple of days ago you introduced a story to the Post about these animals, these same pro-Hamas. There's no such thing as a pro-Palestinian, folks. Stop with that. They can pick a Palestinian out of a lineup. They're pro-Hamas. They hate Israel. They want us murdered. So these pro-Hamas animals are at the deli by Columbia, and they're taunting and yelling and screaming and saying horrible things about the Jews. And once again, you were at the forefront of that story, Jeff.
Yeah, go back to Brooklyn. What used to be Ben's Deli, said, and now is Mr. Broadway. And now you have Jews being harassed off campus. These are students who were at some type of an orientation at City College. That was the campus last year, if you recall, less than a year ago, where these horrible pro-Hamas protesters took down the American flag, took it down, and raised the Palestinian flag on a public university, same campus, same people, same protesters. They go down to Ben's Deli and now Mr. Broadway. They create a barricade and they harass and yell racial slurs at students who had just come from an orientation at City College. That's how bad it's gotten.
Right. You know, I'm curious. I had Caroline Glick on earlier, Jeff, and she's a great writer for JNS.org. And she's on my show often, her and Alex Trayman. But I do have listeners that think she's crazy. They send me this lady every time. She's crazy. So she is contending these days that Tucker Carlson, who she loved Tucker, love him. She contends, though, that he has really become an anti-Semite, that he invites people like Max Blumenthal and Roger Waters on his show. She's right about that. I won't even play Pink Floyd music on this program, let alone sit with Roger Waters in the same room. So to be honest, I agree with her. I'm not sure that makes Tucker an anti-Semite, but I'm also not sure it doesn't. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I don't agree with her theory that he's trying to cause a rift in the Republican Party or hurt Trump or cause the Civil War. I think that's ridiculous. I don't understand the basis for that. But I will say this. I mean, I was a huge fan of Tucker Carlson, huge. And I feel kind of like, I don't know, a jilted lover or one of the, you know what I really feel like? I really feel like one of these victims of domestic violence who likes the concept of something so much because Tucker is so brilliant. And he really is the only person on TV, I'm saying TV, not radio, only person on TV who actually is a critical thinker, who actually makes me, when I watch him, think. So I DVR'd every show. I watched every show. If I missed a show, I DVR'd it and I watched it. And I got to tell you, over time, Sid, I started to have concerns about him. It started with, he started having Thomas Massey on. Thomas Massey is a blatant, out-and-out, far-right anti-Semite. Look at his record. It's disgusting. Then he had Kanye on. And the thing about him having Kanye on was not that he had him on, was that he edited out, and it's on YouTube, you could see this, anti-Semitic statements that Kanye made on Tucker's show. So then I started to get a little bit worried, and I said to my dad, my dad's also, kind of like, just like me. I said, I'm a little worried about Tucker. What's going on with him? And my father just kind of shrugged it off. But then said, I got to tell you, the nail in the coffin were the two interviews he just did on X, which to me were beyond the pale. First, he did an interview with a member of a man of the cloth who blamed Israel for Palestinian Christians getting killed, which is the craziest argument I've ever heard. Nobody talks about that. That was a couple of months ago. And then Caroline Glick is 100% right. He did an interview with this lunatic. He's not a historian. The guy admitted he read 6 books. That was his knowledge of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. That's not a historian. And this guy is a Holocaust denier. Listen, when you said on the air that your Instagram followers were very angry because she was attacking Tucker, I'm one of those people said, I love Tucker. But when somebody does something that's anti-Semitic, how do you distinguish that between calling them an anti-Semite? I don't know what the difference is. I look at what people's actions are, and that guy that Tucker had on, let's be clear, he is 100% a Holocaust denier. He was killing Winston Churchill. He called him the evil of World War II. He called him the villain of World War II. He said Hitler was misunderstood. He said Hitler wanted peace.
No.
He said Hitler wanted peace.
Yeah,
and Churchill wanted the war.
Yeah,
that is and he was definitely a Holocaust denier. Listen, I don't know what to say. I am devastated. I am heartbroken because I love Tucker, but what he has done is beyond the pale.
Hard to argue with both you and Caroline, really is, and I love him too. I was literally a couple of feet away from him when he made that speech on the floor of the RNC in Milwaukee, that epic Thursday night. It was him into Hulk Hogan, into Dana White, into President Trump. But I don't like what I'm hearing. And what you said today, what Glick said, I've done some other homework. Hard to argue that Tucker Carlson is saying some things and doing some things which should make Jewish people very angry. Listen, hey, Lax, you're a hero. I mean, I say this to a lot of my guests, and I guess sometimes I overuse it, but I really do love you. I think you're great, and I really do think you're a hero. So you keep doing what you're doing there in Brooklyn and across this city, and you're always, always invited on this show. God bless you, pal, and Shabbat Shalom.
I love you too, Shabbat Shalom, Sid.
Thank you. That's Jeffrey Lax. What a great guy. This guy's a professor. This guy's a genius. Kingsborough Community College, which I did graduate from. I got my 2 years associate's degree. I'm the most famous Kingsborough graduate ever. Jeff Lax, thank you very much.